Hello, welcome to Melbourne Musos. I hope you enjoyed that little improvised solo. I'd like to introduce my book, The Numbers Game. Basically, it's a book dealing with subdivisions and studies and solos to that end, basically. What goes on with this is essentially the premise of what happens if you're playing in a very slow song, or you're playing a piece of music at a very slow tempo. What I was just doing then was essentially 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, and then using mallets and all of that sort of business. But basically what it's about is the premise of it. They were crotchet beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm playing in 4/4, and the actual term for a piece of music that slow is probably largo, okay, which means broadly, very broad. Now, when you're playing a piece of music like that, and you decide to play, you know, some fairly fast notes inside it, like now, I'm not breaking any world speed records there, but if I'm going to play notes like that within a tempo that's 1, 2, and let's say, if I'm counting in a semi-quaver kind of thing, I'm going to need to understand fairly large note groupings, and that's what my book, The Numbers Game, is all about, is basically starting to deal with numbers. Essentially, the premise of the book is 1 to 20. Okay, so we start with a crotchet beat, which is 1 beat, and then we go all the way through to 20. How are we able to work out 20 notes inside 1 beat? That's what this is all about. Now, let me start by just talking about standard counting systems. Okay, basically what happens is that when you're playing crotchets, the normal count is honestly just the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fine if we're playing in 4/4. Of course, if it's 3/4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Easy. What happens then is we have quavers or eighth notes, and that is where we count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and once again, that's a standard counting system. The next one is threes, triplets, okay? In this particular thing, eighth note triplets or quaver triplets. So you have notes that are worth a third of a beat each. You fit 3 of them into 1 crotchet beat. So it would be 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. That's what happens there. And then the fourth main counting system is 16th notes or semiquavers, which is 1E and a. So you'd have 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E and a, 4E and a, 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E and a, 4E and a 1. Then, they're the 4 main ones. Then you have 2 little extras. You have what's called a quintuplet counting. I use a 5-syllable word, okay, 5 syllables in a word. My word is hippopotamus, hippopotamus, to get a quintuplet. Okay, so hippopotamus, 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 hippopotamus. That's if you're counting in 5s. If you just count 2/5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. That's fine, but you get a little bit caught up with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, you know, that kind of stuff. So if you say hippopotamus, 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 it rolls off the tongue and gets quite pointed too. Hippopotamus, 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 sort of thing. So the attack is quite good for that. So that's 5s. And then of course there's 7. Okay, so you have, I use the name of a lovely Italian actress by the name of Gina Lollobrigida. Gina Lollobrigida. 7 syllables is her name. So it'll be Gina Lollobrigida, 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 Gina. Okay, and there you have it. So they're the 6 main counting systems, okay? 1 to 4. and then a 5 and a 7. You're probably thinking I've missed 6, but this is what I'm going to explain after the next break, how we work these subdivisions, how we work these counting systems and start to apply subdivisions to them. Okay, so a little bit more after the break.